All right. First off, sorry for my little hiatus. I was kind of away on other things, and one of those things I was away from was because I was at a convention for the weekend. Yeah. Also saw Suicide Squad. You'll be seeing that review, and yes, I did see the new episode of Steven Universe. Well, the Bismuth episode, I should say. So expect reviews from those shortly. I just wanted to tell you guys. That yeah, I just had a convention. It was a lot of fun. Cosplayed, actually. I cosplayed as... there's a funny story to this. I cosplayed as a dark side version of Dipper from Gravity Falls, who, according to the new journal, his name is Mason. Yeah, his in-canon name is Mason Pines. So now I don't feel so... now when I tell people what I cosplay, I was like, I could say Mason Pines and get away with it rather than saying Dipper. Anyway, that's beside the point. So, yeah, I cosplayed as a Sith version of Dipper, and nobody got it. Nobody got it. And it sucks, too, because what's even more demeaning was that my cousin, I went with my cousin, and he was dressed in a shirt with Tiny Rick on it. And everyone got, even when we got out of the fucking convention, like, we went to this golf course, and even in a movie theater to see Suicide Squad, people were going, Tiny Rick, the whole night, and I was like, God fucking damn it, no one got this costume. But everyone got the lightsaber I got, because that's some Saber Forge, and I felt like one of those old-timey gun salesmen, promoting, unofficially promoting Saber Forge. Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got a ton of shit, and I do mean a ton of... I think, mostly I got trades, and I actually got my first few pop figures. Yeah, I've never been into the pop figure craze. Yeah, I've never really been into the big pop figure craze, so this is a first for me. So I got my first two figures, and they are Ash from Army of Darkness and Evil Dead, and the other figure is Daredevil, the year, I guess you could say, like, the black costume, yeah, the black suit costume. Yeah, so I got that. Those are my first two pop figures, actually. I'm finally getting... And it was actually kind of funny, because there were so many other pop figures I wanted to get. There was a Pearl. There's also... one I really wanted, I regret I did not get, was a... And I didn't even know this was a thing. I did not know this was a pop figure. It was a pop figure of Chamberlain Skeksis from The Dark Crystal, one of my favorite movies as a kid growing up. So, yeah, I really wish I got that Chamberlain Skeksis pop figure. Because the moment I saw that, I was like, oh my god, I want that so bad. It was like, oh, damn it, it's too expensive. And I already spent enough as it is, so I was kind of like, yeah, I can't do it. Also got a piece of fan art, a poster, a mini poster of Bill Cipher with the words, All Hail the Illuminati Dorito on it. I can't wait to put that on my wall. It's so good. It looks so good. And for trades, I got a ton. Like, it was all trades. I didn't get any comics, like single-issue comics. I just decided to get all trades because I would just burn through the single issues this time around. So I was like, yeah. And the most I spent on a trade was literally $5. These were all ranging from $5. Like, these were all $5 trades, and they just kind of added up, but it was worth it. So yeah, I first got the Star Trek Planet of the Apes crossover, which I'm almost done reading. But I think I'm going to hold off on reviewing because I'm going to let my dad loan it so we can, he's the big Star Trek fan and I'm the big Planet of the Apes fan. So we're going to, if he doesn't like it, then I'll just do a review by myself on the comic. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Following that is the 3 volumes of Amazing X-Men that come from Jason Aaron, James Tynion, and Christopher Yost and Craig Kyle. I think there's only 3 volumes to Amazing X-Men, and I really want to, because I've been so out of the X-Men game, and I was like, yeah, I really want to get, because Amazing X-Men is supposed to be like these fun adventure type stories with the X-Men team, with the X-Men characters, so I was very much interested in this. So I got Amazing X-Men, the 3 volumes of that. Also got the 2 trades of Super Secret Crisis War, so I'm going to review that very soon. So yeah, be prepared for that. For those who don't know, Super Secret Crisis War is the big Cartoon Network crossover involving, in the main story, it's Ed, Edd n Eddy, Samurai Jack, Dexter, Ben 10, and the Powerpuff Girls team up to fight Vilgax, Aku, Mandark, and Mojo. And then the second story, the second volume is a series of one-shots of Cow and Chicken, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Johnny Bravo, Billy and Mandy, like I said, Cow and Chicken and Codename Kids Next Door, all dealing with like the fallout of the war. So yeah, I got all those. Following that is Wolverine Goodbye Chinatown, another one from the Jason Aaron run. This looks really cool. I'm very much interested to read that. Yeah. Also got The Incredible Hulk Abominable, which is from the 4th volume from the Bruce Jones run. I actually like the Bruce Jones run because it's weird, it's very out there, and it's almost like a horror story for the Hulk. I know it's a very unpopular opinion, but I very much like it, and technically speaking, the Bruce Jones run is not in canon anymore because of Peter David's Hulk Tempest Fugit story, which revealed, spoiler, it was all a dream. It was all one big nightmare. It was all a thing caused by Nightmare. So yeah, it's a fun little story because it's all its own thing. But yeah, I kind of dig the Bruce Jones run. It's not as great as like something like Peter David or Greg Pak's story, but it's like a fun little like its own universe kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that was a lot of. So I'm really much looking forward to that, and of course I really dig the Hulk. So yeah. Also got the Batgirl Ghost crossover, which is the Cassandra Cain Batgirl crossing over with Ghost from Dark Horse, one of the classic DC Dark Horse crossovers. Following that, speaking of Dark Horse, I have the entire trade of Star Wars, the Stark Hyperspace War. If you don't know what the Stark Hyperspace War, it was a war that started several years before the events of Phantom Menace, where this pirate named Ayako Stark caused this big intergalactic war before the Clone Wars, and the Jedi were wrapped up in it. And this mostly focuses on Plo Koon's niece, Sho Koon, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the still Padawan Quinlan Vos. So of course I dig all those characters, so I'm going to read it. Following that is Astonishing X-Men Exalted, which is a story by Greg Pak that involves Cyclops being forced to team up with several X-Men characters who are basically, several X-Men characters. Yeah, several X-Men characters from alternate universes. Like he meets a Confederate soldier, Wolverine, a younger Nightcrawler from another universe, and he has to lead them against this villain called the Savior. So of course you guys know that I've come to realize that Scott Summers is an awesome character. So I was like, Scott Summers leading a team of alternate universe X-Men? Fuck yeah! Yeah. And finally, I didn't get this at the convention. I ended up getting this at a Books A Million because I saw it. It was really cheap, but I decided to add it in here for the hell of it. And that is The Death of Wolverine, The Logan Legacy, which, if you don't know what that is, this is the fallout of Wolverine's death, where X-23, Sabretooth, Mystique, Daken, and Lady Deathstrike are all... It's kind of like their way of saying goodbye to Wolverine, basically. It's their way of saying goodbye to Logan in their own way. Well, it's kind of this interconnecting story, really. Anyway, so what else did I want to say about this comic? Got to see Sean Schemmel, the English dub voice for Goku. He was awesome. Got to see Maurice LaMarche, the voice of Brain. Rob Paulson as well. There were several other people at the convention, like Daryl Dixon himself, Norman Reedus, and the actor who played King Joffrey from Game of Thrones. I didn't get to see them. But all in all, this was a fun convention. There were so many good cosplays, you guys. There's so many good cosplays. Nobody got mine. Well, one person did. But other than that, I had to explain to people, hey, I'm Dipper if he was a Star Wars character in a Sith. There was a really good Revan cosplay. There's a lot of Dippers at this convention. And I actually had a picture of one where I quote-unquote force-choked a Dipper. I basically had a picture of me force-choking him. Also, who else, one Mabel. A lot of Dippers, one Mabel. That's all I got to see. One Grunkle Stan, too, and he was hanging out with a Lord Dominator cosplayer. I was like, the moment we were about to leave, my cousin and I were about to leave the convention, and we saw this Lord Dominator cosplay. I saw her at the corner of my eye, and I literally said, oh my god, I have to get a picture of this woman. And I was like, oh my god, it's so cool, I never thought I'd see a Lord Dominator cosplayer. And she's like, I know! But no, she was cool. She was also with a Grunkle Stan cosplayer. So if you're watching this somehow, I never got your names, but you guys were awesome. Also, there was a cosplayer who was dressed up as a stormtrooper who was like a Star Wars version of a stormtrooper version of a Tampa Bay Lightning. It's a hockey team for those who don't know. The Tampa Bay Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning is a hockey team which I've grown to become a fan of. And he was walking around. I was like, yeah, go Bolts. Yeah, I'm not the biggest sports guy, but for some reason I just kind of dig the Bolts. So yeah, in a nutshell, there was a ton of other cosplays, but all in all, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, had tons of fun. I hope if anyone's listening to this or saw me at the cosplay, and yeah, I had probably I had probably one of the hardest cosplays ever. So hopefully, when I do my Bill Cipher costume, I can work it out. Anyway, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.